The 60th anniversary of the JFK assassination is upon us, and it seems as if the internet is just alive with conspiracy theories. Some people are determined that a second gunman was involved, yet the government holds that the Warren Commission report was actually accurate. The truth will probably be never known this late and so many years after the fact. The Kennedys definitely left a legacy, and a lot of it was spun by Jacqueline Kennedy, or she called it Jacqueline, and she came up with the idea of Camelot and so forth, romanticizing the tenure in the White House, and also as an attempt to cover up some of the more unsavory parts of Jack's, shall we say, licentiousness. In any event, some years ago I did a video on Jacqueline, and I'd like to replay that one here because I think it really does speak to a time that has been lost. Now, Jackie, you might know, was full of grace, but she wasn't above being a bit catty. She called the Johnsons Uncle Corn Pone and his little pork chop. And of course, she went to great lengths to distance herself from the unsavory side of the Kennedys. Right down to remarrying Onassis in order to get her children off and out of the United States before somebody took a shot at them. But of course that was motivated by money more than anything, and her divorce settlement with Onassis was not what she was expecting, and she took that in to see Ted Kennedy, who said, well, now this is an election year, I don't think we need to push that. After all, your marrying him was not exactly a crowd-pleasing event. So let's look again at the Kennedy years and Jacqueline in the White House. Bienvenue chez Tim. It's hard to imagine a First Lady of the United States speaking in French with France 2, but that was the case with Jacqueline Kennedy. C'est vraiment difficile d'imaginer la femme d'un président américain qui parle français, mais c'était le cas avec Jacqueline Kennedy.
La Maison-Blanche. Je suppose que cette réception de 2000 étudiants étrangers fait partie de vos obligations de présidente. En avez-vous beaucoup?
Oui, mais vous savez, les obligations sont souvent des plaisirs. Comme aujourd'hui, les étudiants étrangers. Ça m'intéresse beaucoup. J'en étais une.
Oui, vous-même étiez.
La fois.
Before the Kennedys came to town, Washington was a sleepy southern hamlet, and in fact Pennsylvania Avenue was lined with pool halls and pawn shops. On the culinary front, Mamie Eisenhower liked a nice relish tray. Jackie Kennedy changed all of that, bringing with her a level of sophistication that had been previously unknown at the White House. She employed René Verdon as chef after Jacques Pepin turned her offer down. Her menus were first in French, then in English at JFK's insistence, but they were classic French haute cuisine. On April 11, 1962, the Kennedys hosted the Shah of Iran and Empress Farah for a state dinner. Farah Pahlavi showed up with the famed peacock tiara and necklace with emeralds that would have made Liz Taylor swoon. They are now on display in the Tehran as part of the state jewel collection. In a correspondence I had with Empress Farah 2 decades ago, she told me that the gown she was wearing that evening was designed by Christian Dior. Dinner that evening featured a pintade, or also known as guinea hen in English, which René Verdon used a prune and breadcrumb stuffing and a black currant gelée. I would be remiss not to mention that Julia Child published Mastering the Art of French Cooking in 1961, and that, along with the Kennedy White House, led to an interest in all things French. Fine dining and elegant tables like the ones seen here at a state dinner at the White House were widely emulated. Black-tie dinners were commonplace. Sadly, so much has changed. American interest in French art and French cuisine has not only waned, but seemingly we have lost the spirit of hope and optimism that so permeated those days of Camelot. Looking back on former times brings nostalgia, but it also reminds us how far we have to go.